Now, let's see, okay. Alright, direct view right there on the work area. So what I'm building is a sliding glass door. I've already got one built. And I didn't think to turn the camera on until just now. So what I have done here is, let's see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me see. Let me look here. Yeah. So you see this line on the end. So what I've done is cut my 2x4 down to, let's see, it was like 67 3/4 of an inch or something like that. Whatever it was, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, I cut my 2x4 down, and then I set this right here, and to where it hit the center of this 2x4, and I ran my 2x4 right up against it, down along there, and made a groove all the way through the center of this 2x4, going about halfway down. I did the exact same thing with this 2x4 here. You can see where I did a groove in this 2x4 all the way down. So now that's about where I'm at. I've already built one of these. I learned kind of some mistakes because I've never built one before. but I'm priding myself on. Come on, now don't do that. I'm priding myself on everything being my own handiwork. It's really making me feel good. So anyway, somebody said, well, wouldn't it be about just as well to go buy some sliding glass doors? In the end picture, it would be. I don't know. I've never really priced sliding glass doors. Don't know what they cost. I can't imagine they're cheap. I figure for these, let's see if you can see it right here. So I've got this here plexiglass. Okay, this here is a 3x6 sheet of plexiglass, and the standard 4x8 sheet of plexiglass is around $100 at Lowe's. I've got this here 3x6 sheet, and I'm designing it for the plexiglass to slip right down in that groove there. Anyway, that's what I was getting at. The price of the plexiglass versus the price of actual sliding glass doors, and then the price of the 2x4s with the plexiglass, I don't know. I have to imagine it's about $100 per sliding glass door if you go by that store, so the bare minimum $200, and for the average person plus tax, so on and so forth. Granted, we are tax exempt, so that does help. However, $100 for plexiglass, what about? Well, we already had the 2x4s laying around, so $100, a little bit of screws, and $2 a piece for coasters. You'll see what I'm talking about. Oh man, I gotta get some more coasters. I used 4 coasters, 2 top and 2 bottom, and they're $1.96 a piece for the coasters. And basically what they are, I'm calling them coasters. I don't know what the actual name is on them. Let's see if I can find one of that. Here's a tag. They're actually called a 1-inch roller ball bearing. And I picked these up at Harbor Freight for $1.96 a piece. So I'm putting putting 2 on the top of the doors, 2 at the bottom of the doors, 1 at each corner basically. And then I'm building my track for the sliding glass doors. Which I haven't built yet, but I will. So now we're at the point where I need to slide this over my plexiglass and then get my measurement for my inboards. So I'm going to turn you this way for the moment so you can kind of get an idea for what I'm doing. But first thing I got to do is peel this safety plastic back. Now I'm not taking it all the way off because while I'm working on it, it's still protecting the glass for the most part. But I'm going to peel it back in order to get my boards on there snugly and not have a problem peeling this off when I'm done building the door. I've got to get it all the way around. Let me grab my knife. Let me just sit right here. So I'm just going to cut some of this off. Come on. I probably really need to get a new blade on here. cutting this off just to get it out of my way, because when I get into this, I've already learned that this excess I pulled back will get in my way extremely bad. So that's why I'm cutting it off right now. Now bear with me. I'm going to see if I can get a different blade in this, because if it's having problems cutting plastic, yeah. I thought I had some blades right here. Well, maybe I'm stuck using this one. No. Lovely, beautiful. Okay, well, I'm stuck using this blade for the moment, I think. Great. I know there was some here, but I'm not finding them. So whatever. Yeah, whatever. Okay. We'll just suck it up. Pretty sure I've already flipped this blade around, but I'm about to flip it again because I'm starting to think anything would be better than that. This is a little sharper, so we'll see if that helps any. Alright, now that's a little bit better. But so, let's go ahead and just flip it around, get my other side done, and then we'll flip it to the other side. Look at that. When you need to cut your plexiglass, I have found that the easiest way for cutting plexiglass is to, of course, measure it out, put your chalk line there, but then, folks, they use a knife, or I don't know what all folks use exactly, but I know people use knives and cutting knives, and they scar it on both sides. Personally, I've not had a whole lot of luck with scarring it and breaking it. What I have had very good luck with, though, is my grinder. I take my chalk line and I mark it off, and then I take my grinding wheel, run it right down that chalk line, and I don't ever break my plexiglass when I'm using a grinder, ever. Oh. But of course, when you're doing that, when you're making a cut, of course you want to have it on a flat surface, no little pebbles or anything like that underneath of it, so on and so forth. And you do have to be careful with plexiglass, because you know, it's flexible, but be careful, it will break and crack. Now, there's that. So, two purposes for why you leave the plastic on until you're completely done with your plexiglass. One, when you're constructing it, you set the plexiglass down on surfaces and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. and any little deal will scratch the glass. Secondly, if you got to cut your plexiglass, never take the plastic film off before cutting. Never do that. This plexiglass helps to hold the glass intact from cracking. I have taken the film off and cut plexiglass, cracked it almost every time. But every time I've ever left the film on, I've never once had a problem. Well, little tip for you on that. Alright, now we're going to flip this over, get that last edge. Now, seeing as I am not cutting this plexiglass, I'll save that one for a future video for when I do need to cut plexiglass. This piece already came pre-cut for me. Usually don't ever happen that way, but this time I got blessed. Anyway, seeing as I'm not cutting this, I'm going to end this video right here, and then I'm going to start a new video. And that way I can keep these videos short, and I'm gonna try to do some editing and make an actual proper video for a change. I don't think I've ever really made a proper video. I've always just showed everything, and I know people don't like that, so we'll see what happens here.